everyone, this is Dream from Where the Yokels Grow, and I'm standing out here in my backyard. That means this is part 2 of our garden tour series, the Backyard Garden Tour. If you all are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, I am so glad to see you again. Let's get growing, y'all. This way we're gonna go do an update on the trees. And before I go, as you can see, we still haven't done this fence, but it has to get done in the next 2 weeks because baby chickens come, I believe, either the first weekend or second weekend of May. So let me give you an update on the trees. These are the nectarines. This first nectarine right here is called a June Princess. Now these are self-pollinating trees. So I bought 2 of them. I didn't need to, but I love nectarines. Absolutely love them. And then this one is called, the Rose Princess Nectarine. As you can see, they're doing very well. They're still got all their flowers, getting some leaves, and we're hoping that all of these flowers turn into nectarines. And if you look right there, you can kind of see the beginning of one. And then we've been planting, or I planted up super petunias. This one's bubblegum on the right, and I believe this one's called Royal Purple Super Petunia.
Mommy.
Yes, sir, what's wrong? What happened? What happened? It's okay. It's okay. Okay?
Hi.
You say hi? Say hi to everybody. Say hi, friends. Yeah, hi, friends. This is my lovely sidekick, my wonderful assistant who's trying to steal the camera right now. He's in distress. His brother either took something from him or won't let him have something, one of the two. So here we go. We're going to continue on down the fence. And these are our Japanese plums. And as you can see, I honestly don't think I will get any plums from these trees. They bloomed really, really early with flowers, but unfortunately it was during a time that we were below freezing, so the trees were inside the house. And I just don't think we'll get any plums this year, but that's okay. And then this is one of my American elderberries right here. I just up-potted it. She was in a container this size, and I just up-potted her to this size. And I've already got the container for the other one. I just gotta get it done. So let me show you the pepper garden. So this is our pepper garden. This is our sweet pepper garden, and this, what looks dead right here, just these tall branches are what's dead. But if you look close, sorry for the fast movement, trying to get out of the shadow. If you look close, you can see brand new branches coming up all the way around it. And this is our giant hibiscus that I talked about in our video, edible flowers. And I'll try and link that at the end of this video for you all so you can go see it. And of course, we love flowers here. So we have, not pansies. Those are violas and petunias in that container right here. And then down this whole fence line, we're going to talk about those grapes here in a minute. Down this entire fence line is our sweet pepper row, and the peppers that you see, I overwintered them, so that's why those stalks are so thick and meaty, which makes for a better harvest the second year. So if you're someone who's growing sweet potatoes and you got them in a garden, dig them up, put them in a pot, put them in kind of a dark place, you know, and take care of them just like you would if it was in the summer, and overwinter them, and then put them back in the garden, and I promise you your peppers will be bigger and sweeter on your sweet peppers. So this bush right here, I'm trying not to get in the shadow, y'all. It's always very sunny at my house. This bush right here is a tansy. For those of you who don't know what a tansy is, it is a flower, but it's also a municipal herb. And for those of you who are women, this would be a good one to grow. You have to wait till the second year to get flowers. This is my second year with them. And I grew them from seed last year, not knowing that I would have to wait 2 years before I got flowers. But that's okay, because that means this year they're going to flower. But they're good for menstrual cramps. And for those of you who may be growing lots of squash, potatoes and cucumbers, plant some tansy in there. It keeps all those lovely, what is it, cucumber beetles and potato squash bugs. I'm sorry, potato bugs and squash bugs away. Works really well. You can see this one looks like a giant green stump, but when you get close to it, it's just coming up from the bottom. So let's talk about grape number 1 and grape number 2. You heard me just mention about the plum trees being inside because it was freezing. So these guys were outside, and I read everything. It said just go out and cover them up. So that's what I did. But what I didn't know is that I needed to uncover them when it came up just above freezing, because they began to sweat in there, because what I had over them was just a trash bag, because that's what it said would be just fine. But it sweated too much and the green leaves got too hot and they died in there. So it's not dead, it's coming up from the bottom, but such is life. You know, it's the first time I've ever planted them and I didn't know anything about them. So as you can see, we have flowers planted over here, snapdragons and marigolds, and then like I said, we have flowers everywhere, and those are another super petunias, and those are red, and eventually if we take care of them, we can remember to water them because they're way up there. They'll just be dragging that whole building. It'll look really pretty when it's done. So let's walk on down. So there's another tansy. This is my butterfly bush. She comes, let me get out of the sun, the shade. That one right there, that is my butterfly bush. She comes back every year, which I am very thankful for. And then this little beauty, this, let me get out of this shadow again. This little beauty, go all the way up with her. And then this one right here. And then I got some more. She was very fruitful. This is my passion vine, and she produces passion fruit every year for me. And I don't care for it, but my little one likes it, so that's okay. I got her, I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago at Green's Produce, and she was in the back. She was on sale. You know, basically they had thrown her away, said she was dying. I brought her home and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna nurse you back to health. So there she is. I'm gonna spin around. So this is my Sweet 100 and Sun Gold cherry tomatoes. Now I know, let me get out of the sun again. I know for some of you, you probably think, wow, it's in a lot of shade and it doesn't have a lot of room. But you see that fence? All the way down will be covered in these cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna get back out here. Sorry for the fast movement. Get back out here so you guys can kind of see it better. But it'll cover all the way down, and then we go up. You can see the sticks, but they'll be longer and taller sticks. It'll go way up into the air, and then it'll bush down all down the sides there. So this is our other garden back here. This has all of our squash, and I only have 3 celery that made it from seed to a plant. And I thought, you know what, I'll just wait until fall and I'll really plant a lot of it when I plant my seeds for fall harvest. Well, when I start my seeds to have a fall harvest is a better way to say it. So we have in here, we have Romanesco zucchini or squash, summer squash. We have zucchini, we have crooked yellow neck squash, and then yellow squash are all in here. And we will also be planting, for those of you who like to do companion planting and you're worried about squash bugs, plant some radish seeds in there. They do not like the smell of radish seeds at all. Well, they don't like the smell of radishes, not so much the seeds. This is our elephant ear. As you can see, they look terrible. They look terrible, but according to my onion and garlic guy, he's saying that they're going to be just fine. He said that this is just what happens to them when they kind of experience some cold and some stress. So this is our backyard. Let me back up. This is our backyard greenstock. Now this one tends to be, because that door is right there and my kitchen is right on the other side, this tends to be kind of my salad, my greens, my kitchen herbs. This year, you know, greenstock says you can grow some onions, so I had some extra onions after I did the container onions, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stick them in here. We'll see if they grow. It says they'll grow them. And then of course this beauty has just been planted up, and this is my rose tree that my husband and my kids got me for Mother's Day. So we're gonna go back in here into Joey's little area. This is his play yard. This is also his sensory garden. If y'all are new here, his sensory garden is a smell, touch, and taste sensory garden. So what that means is he has things that smell really good for him to smell. He has things that have different textures for him to touch, and many things that he can eat. So here are the new strawberry towers, and as you can see, we have strawberries all over them, and he doesn't let them go very long before he eats them. And then here is some more, I don't know if y'all can see this, passion vine that's way out here, and then I've got some right there. If any of you, because she's always stayed in that spot where you've seen her. Well, she's on the inside usually. For some reason, she got outside of that barrier. But if you have grown passion vine, I would love to pull these up and pot them over here or plant them over here with the other ones. My fear is there's like a root base and it's a vine, you know, and my fear is that's not a baby plant. That's part of the vine, and that's just where it came up. So if you all know, can I pull these up and replant them over here, or am I going to kill it? You know, because I don't want to do that either. So let me know down in the comments if you know. And that's one of them. Here's another strawberry tower, and of course these are the Dollar Tree stackers, you all. And you can see they stack they stack perfectly. And I'll put a little small video up here on the top of this video, and I'll show you how I did these different. Typically these guys underneath right here have 3 holes and you punch them out, but I didn't want water running down on my plants in these ones, so I actually melted holes down in the centers of each one of these so it would drain straight down the center, just like it does in a greenstock. So let me back up again. This is my beautiful pomegranate. Now she has only produced pomegranates once, which was last year, and I only got 2. And of the 2, I only got 1 because the squirrels ate the other one. So there's that. Okay, so here is the Austin Rose, Lady of Shalott, that I planted in one of my videos, and I will link it at the back of this video. And you give me just a minute. If you stay with me, we're gonna go into the sensory garden. You'll get to see an update on the blackberries, the blueberries, and the raspberries here in just a minute. But this is the Austin Rose. You can see she's doing really, really well. Okay, let's go over here and check an update on another video that we did, and it was growing potatoes in containers. Now I want to show you something. You can see how low this dirt is. Can you all see how low that is? My hand's way down there. So when these get just a little bit higher, I'll probably get them about right here, I'll come in and I'll fill this dirt up, because like tomatoes, these guys have little hairs going up and down. They're not as prominent as tomatoes, but if you fill this up, it turns into more roots, and because you have more roots, it means you get more potatoes. Just a little helpful advice. But you can see they are doing excellent. So if you stay tuned all the way to the end, we're going to talk about, I'm sure you're seeing them flying in and out of camera. These are not bumblebees, y'all. These are called carpenter bees. The males have no stingers. Females are the only one that have a stinger. So we're not as sure where their hive is because they like wood, but we've been seeing them coming in and out for a couple of years up in here. But this wood is not hollow, so we're not sure exactly what they're doing up in there. So here is another one of our, like the potatoes. This is part of one of the containers that I am doing for the patio to plate container challenge. It's a mouthful. But this, now I'm going to pull her back, and she's already got blueberries on her. This is called a top hat blueberry, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's going to be a turnip. Not sure yet. We'll see what it turns into, but I'm pretty sure that's a turnip right there, turnip seed that got in there. But this particular blueberry is expensive. I'm not gonna lie to you. It cost me $60 for this plant, and then right after I bought it, they started, I guess they had too many, and they sold them all for 10 bucks each, which was just a real pain in the butt. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need, assistant? What do you need? Yeah, you say hi to your friends? Oh, look at that fast car. That is awesome. That is an awesome car. Pretty good car. We're gonna turn it back around. So this particular blueberry, like I was saying, is kind of expensive, and you're gonna have to get it at a nursery. I don't remember if I saw it at Burpee's, but I know Stark Brothers carries it because that's where it came from. So, and then here is one of our original strawberry towers. And again, Dollar Tree. And it's part of his sensory garden. And this pot right here is gonna have, should have echinacea and salvia in it. If I remember right, that's what's planted in there. And of course, this is lamb's ear. For someone who might be looking for a sensory garden for your kids, it's not gonna hurt them if they eat it. I doubt they'll eat it because it's kind of milky inside, but its texture is really, really soft, almost like velvet. And it's called lamb's ear, for those of you who might be looking. And then these are our spikes. Now, again, these guys are harmless. They're not gonna hurt, but they are hollow and they do bend over rather easy. But I'm telling you, these guys made it through a freeze. Y'all remember the Texas freeze? You hear about that one? Yep, that was part of it. Here is a lemongrass that we planted. We try to plant things in our gardens that will help repel mosquitoes. Eventually I will have some lavender up in here. I haven't gotten the lavender back here, but we plant things to keep, I'm trying to get out of the dark here, to keep mosquitoes, because we don't spray back here for mosquitoes. This is, get in close. That was a hydrangea that I planted last year. Bought it at Walmart. Again, almost dead. Brought it home, planted it, thought it wasn't gonna live, and not only did it live, it came back from last year. So let me get out of the shade here. Walk into the sensory garden, back up. So again, we have some sensory things. Of course, this is the sound, water and sound. When these guys rush together and when these palms come together, they make kind of a scratching noise, so it's another sound. This, right, I don't know if you can see that. Let me get closer. You see that grass right there? It's right there, and it's right there. I believe it's called Lady Garlic, but it is a grass and a flower. But when the flowers bloom, they smell like garlic, so we have another smell. Sensory. And then of course, if you look around, I'm gonna turn around. I planted this dahlia right here. She looks like she needs some water again, but all our plants are starting to come back. We even have sunflowers, echinacea. This is a maple tree that I bought at our local Fort Worth Botanical Garden sale. I want to say 3 years ago. She's thriving and doing well. So we're gonna go slow. So I don't want to move the camera fast. These right here will be dwarf sunflowers when they come up. They're coming up all on their own. So just remember that if you plant sunflowers, if you let them go to seed and let some of them fall, they will replant themselves. And I promise you they will be stronger the second year than they were on the first year. And that's just because they're acclimated to your soil, so they're gonna grow stronger. Here is the flower pot thriving and doing well that we did on a video. I'll try to put that down in the description. Let me know what kind of flowers you all are planting this year. Did you plant any blackberries or blueberries or raspberries? I'd love to hear about it. I'll tell you my woe here in just a minute. Okay, here are the golden raspberries. This was my original one that I got as a bare root, and I got that from Stark Brothers. And this was the one that I bought recently at Green's Produce. Of course, this was a bare root, and this was already a plant, so it's doing really well. And I honestly thought I killed this the first year I had it. And then once I read up on it, I found out that bare root plants take them a couple of years before they establish. Also takes them a couple of years before they actually produce any fruit, but not this guy. she is already producing fruit. Let me turn up the leaves, and there they are. We have lots of little golden raspberries all over, and she's loaded up like that. And then here is our pitiful heritage. Y'all, I don't know if she's dead yet. This golden raspberry that was a bare root did the same thing, and I thought it was dead, but you can see as she came back, she's doing well. So we'll see. You know, that's all I can do. We'll see how it goes. So only people who know me well, you can see that stump down there. There was a tree that went up and up and up and up, and then she went up and up into that tree, and then she broke. And so the only way to save our houses in between here was to take her down. But she is ever defiant, and I don't want to put poison in a stump. I hate putting poison out. I know it's probably a necessary evil, but if anybody else has another way to keep her from sprouting without using poison, please put it down in the comments. I would love to hear. So here's another strawberries. These guys are actually the original strawberries that I had last year that I overwintered and kept. They're producing, they're doing okay. I have some issues going on, but we'll just have to kind of, you know, wait it out and see what's gonna happen. So eventually, this right here will have more sweet peppers in it. And I'm just gonna pan around. The wind has blown all the mulch back over. I had it all swept up. And then here is another one of our strawberry towers. This is the one the squirrels like a lot. And here is our blackberry, and we have blackberries. I'm so excited. Well, maybe not. Nope, it's still there. There it is. I was afraid the squirrel got it. But we have blackberries, so that's exciting to see. I don't know how many of them we're gonna see. Another strawberry and flower tower right here. And then these, y'all, are going to be, well, 5 of them, well, no, not 5, 4 will be planted along this antique gate, and those will be my tomatillas. And then I'll probably put another, probably a stake here and one of the stakes here, and then kind of put some chicken wire up behind it, so as they come up I have something to tie it to as they grow. But we're going to grow tomatillas right here, and then the other tomatoes that you see down there are called Homestead, and those are going to be dotted right down there. And if you all have an area, now it gets pretty sunny over here. I know you wouldn't think so with that large tree. Yes, lovely assistant. What is the problem? Yes, sir. What do you need, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You say hi. What are you doing? What's wrong? Huh? Nose. Your nose itches? What? Oh, you got sand on your nose. Ew. There you go. Okay, so the Homestead tomatoes are going to go along this fence right here. But if you have a place that is not full sun all the time and you need something that'll take some shade, Homestead, I doubt you can find the plants. If you can, buy them. But if not, go ahead and get you some seeds. And it's probably too late for those of us who are in the southern hemisphere, but not too late for those of you in the northern hemisphere. Try and get some of those going, because they grow pretty fast, and once they're in the ground, I want to say it's 65 days before you get a tomato. So they'll take some shade. So these are my 2 original 1 and 2 bare root blueberries that I got 2 years ago, same time I got the golden raspberry from Stark Brothers. Yes, sir. You had a rock? Okay. I'll be over there in a minute, okay? They're my originals. You okay? They're my original blueberries, and as you can see, they're loaded with flowers, so we're hopeful. The flowers, some of them are falling off, but we're hopeful that they stick and we get some blueberries. And these are the 2 that we did on how to plant your blueberries in a container. These are the 2 that I got from Lowe's. Of course, they're going to look like that this year. I don't anticipate them getting any bigger until they come back next year. So I'm going to pan around, back up. Sorry for the movement. There you go. All the way down and then all the way back. Hey everyone, I thought I'd end the garden tour back here in Joey's little play area. The carpenter bees are dancing around behind me again, and I thought it would be a good place to stop and tell you that I truly enjoy what I do, and I am so grateful for all of you who have decided to come and subscribe to my channel. I cannot thank you all enough, and I want you to know how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you are new, please subscribe and hit that notification button. We post a lot of new videos pretty often, and I would hate for you to miss anything. Until I see you in the next video, you all keep growing, you keep your heads up, and know that I love each and every one of you. Bye-bye.